Hello, everyone. Welcome. To those of you who haven't been here before, this is Wendy Yawching, Tribe Mom of the Fire Tribe. And this is one of our famous Fire Fridays. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the energy of the Young Wood Dragon year, which starts now. For anyone who hasn't met me before, I'd like to do a quick intro. So my name is Wendy Yawching. I'm a master feng shui consultant, as well as being the Tribe Mom of the Find Your Tribe. I'm the founder of Healing Spaces Caribbean. That's my feng shui hat. I'm an author. I've written a book called The Courage to Fly. I'm a member of the IFSG, which is the International Feng Shui Guild. And I'm also an environmental director for Yahweh Foundation. And I love to help people elevate their chi by doing all kinds of neat stuff, including coaching and motivational speaking. For those of you who don't know what feng shui is about, a very brief mention. Feng shui is an ancient Chinese art or science that started thousands of years ago in China, but then evolved across the world, traveled the world, and as it traveled the world, it evolved by picking up bits and pieces as it traveled, so that the feng shui that you might run into today, you would find there are many different approaches to feng shui, many different schools of feng shui. There are two main buckets. One is classical feng shui, and the other one is modern feng shui. And again, in those buckets, you have many different types of apples. The thing is that even with all the different approaches to feng shui, there is one thing in common. They all agree that it's all about the qi. Feng shui in any school is about creating harmony between living beings and their inner spaces by elevating or enhancing the energy of the spaces and of the living beings. So let's talk about the qi. There's something called the cosmic trinity in feng shui and in the Chinese metaphysical arts. They consist of heaven energy, earth energy, and man energy. I call them the three qis. Heaven energy is the energy attached to the physical universe. We look out into the sky and we see the stars and all the planets, etc. Heaven energy is the stars, the planets, the energy of spaces in between. Heaven energy is that universe and universes in which we exist, our planet exists, and we are all affected by heaven energy because it affects our planet. Then there's the energy of earth. And of course, Mother Earth has her own energy, and mankind, everything on Mother Earth has an energy, so that the occupants of Mother Earth add to the earth energy as well. And then there's mankind, collectively and individually, which has a separate energy from the energy of the birds and the bees and the trees. Mankind brings another energy of its own. So there's heaven energy, earth energy, and human energy. And if we look at heaven energy, we'd realize that we really can't do very much about changing heaven energy. We are affected by heaven energy. So that, for instance, I'm sure you know people who, when the moon is full, they can't sleep. There's the farmer's almanac that guides you to plant your garden in sync with the cycles of the moon, because it's well known that the energy of the moon affects the energy of the earth. And of course, the energy of the sun affects us. Think of the seasons. Depending on the relative position of the sun, we have a different energy on the planet, and different things happen. Different seasons occur, different things grow, things go to sleep, things are harvested. So heaven energy affects the earth and therefore affects us. Earth energy, the energy that is on Mother Earth, is definitely managed by heaven energy, but earth energy has its own energy. The earth has its own energy, and we as people can, like all the occupants of Mother Earth, also affect the energy of the earth. So we have some control of the things that are going on in the energy of the earth. Where we have the most control, though, is in managing our own human energy. And we have many practices that we use to do that, but using our human energy, we can affect the energy of the planet, which then affects us back in a positive or not so positive way. So it's really important to know what we can manage, what we can do, things to change, and to make our best shot at changing them in a great way. And that's where feng shui comes into play, because feng shui helps us using our human energy to change our environment, our personal space, our earth energy spaces, to give us our best support, and therefore give us our best personal energy again, support that energy, and give us our best lives. Hope you got it. So now let's talk about the year of the Young Wood Dragon. I call it Enter the Dragon. Heaven energy is bringing us a year that has the name, the Yang Wood Dragon, to anyone who studies Chinese astrology. There are two dates on this slide. One is February 10th and one is February 4th. February 10th is coming up very shortly, and that is the Lunar New Year, and that's the New Year date that practically everybody in China and anybody who follows that particular approach to life will be celebrating for like for a whole week with feasting and cultural events and dragon dances and getting together with your family and your friends and eating and doing all kinds of wonderful things and exchanging gifts. February 4th has already passed us, and that is considered the Solar New Year. In China, they have both. They use a solar and a lunar calendar. And the Solar New Year is the one that is used by feng shui practitioners and other practitioners of Chinese metaphysics to determine the real energy of the year. So the Solar New Year is when it's calculated by from the winter solstice, which was December 22nd, where the sun, in the Northern Hemisphere, the sun was at its lowest point, its most southerly point, and then started its journey back up north. So December 22nd, that was the shortest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. That's the winter solstice. Every day after December 22nd, the sun, quote unquote, moves a little bit further north, further north, further north, further north. And each, as it grows, therefore, the yang sun energy gets stronger and stronger and stronger in the Northern Hemisphere. And when the sun gets to a certain angle with respect to the Earth, which is February 4th this year, the Chinese consider there is enough yang energy of the sun to consider that this is the beginning of spring and the new year, the new solar year starts. So that is the logic behind February 4th. And that's the date that we use if we were trying to calculate whether you were born in the year of the rabbit or the year of the horse or the year of the dragon. We use the solar calendar. And then we celebrate on February 10th as well. So people like me who are living in the West but follow the East have 3 dates that we celebrate the new year: December 31st, January 1st, February 4th, and February 10th. Why not? Celebrate. Now let's take a look, before we go into the year of the dragon energy, let's take a look at why we have this yang wood dragon thing. In Chinese astrology, again, we have 12 animals. So the animals go from 1 to 12. Every 12 years, we start over again, 1 to 12, 1 to 12, 1 to 12. And this year, that we run through each of these 12 animals which are here. And this year, we are talking about the year of the snake. Last year was the year of the hare or the rabbit. And the year before was the year of the tiger. Next year, see, this year's the year of the dragon. My mistake. This year's the year of the dragon. Last year was the year of the rabbit, and the year before was the year of the tiger. Next year will be the year of the snake, and the year after that is the year of the horse. And that's pretty significant, as you'll see as we go forward. So there's 12 animals, and they repeat over and over and over and over. And there are 5 elements. And for those of you who are not familiar with the elements, anybody who's trained with me before knows about them. The 5 elements are here in these pretty pictures: fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. And each of the elements has a different personality. So we have the animals with a different personality and the elements with a different personality. And then we throw in yin and yang energy, yang being the big, strong, dynamic energy, such as the sun, and yin being the calmer, quieter, darker, cooler energy, such as the moon. In Chinese astrology, you run the 12 animals and the 5 elements over a period of 60 years. So for instance, we might have this year the yang wood dragon, and last year we had the yin water rabbit. The elements change, the animals change. If you say 12 by 5, you get 60. So there's a 60-year period of animals and energies and elemental energies happening, and each year has a different animal and a different energy, because even if the dragon occurs now, next time the dragon comes around in 12 years' time, they'll have a different element attached to it, therefore a different personality. And every year we go either yin or yang, yin or yang, yin or yang. So since this year is a yang wood dragon, next year we know it's going to be a yin something or the other. Now, if this is all new to you, don't worry. Just giving you an idea that we have 60 years in which the animals repeat, and each animal has a different element every time it comes back in the period of 60 years. And this year, we have the yang wood dragon. So let's take a look at the yang wood dragon. Remember, I said Yang means big, big and strong and powerful. So anytime you see yang, that's what you're expecting. And then we have, hold on a sec, then we have the wood. The wood is one of the 5 elements. And the wood energy is about growth and change and upward movement and creativity and making new ideas come out of nothing and developing and spreading. The wood energy is an upward moving energy. Now tie that to the dragon. The dragon is one of the most powerful animals in the Chinese zodiac. The dragon is also considered a very magical, mystical kind of beastie. It's charismatic, it's powerful, it likes to, it can break through obstacles, it likes change, it likes to rescue situations. And in Chinese culture, the dragon is a symbol representing imperial power and authority. It symbolizes revolution and discarding old patterns. So if you add together yang, wood, and dragon, this year is distinctly going to be a year of powerful change, of transformation, of rising freshness, new ideas, and vigor, interspersed by the instability or the impulsive vibration unrest of the dragon energy. So, because dragons like to do what dragons like to do. So what we will need to work on as we navigate this year of the Yang Dragon would be to make sure we keep balance, to make sure that instability and unrest doesn't rise up. We have the yang, which is big and powerful. We have the growing of the wood, and then we have the ability of the dragon to change things. So let's pay attention to the energy of the yang wood dragon, shall we? It is even more powerful because this year, 2024, is also the year in which we enter period 9, and I'm going to talk about period 9 very shortly. But let's stay with the dragon for a moment. Now, every animal on the Chinese zodiac has its friends and its foes. And when it has its friends, it gets along really well with them. So in this year, the friend is the rooster. So if you have a rooster, if you're a rooster in your year of birth, this is a year that you should have a nice, smooth ride. You can jump on the back of the dragon and ride the dragon. If, however, you're a dog, then you are going to be challenged because the dog is not best friends with the dragon. It actually opposes the dragon. Dragons and dogs are not don't get along too well. Personality-wise, I think it's because the dog really thinks the dragon is a bit too egotistical and gets all the fame. Hi there. The dog gets all the fame the dragon gets all the fame for its flamboyance and good deeds, and the dog is going step by step, working hard and being loyal and steadfast, and it doesn't get as much glamour attached to the dragon. That's just my take. But basically, if you're a dog, then this year is going to be what we consider challenged by the dragon energy, and you should therefore do things to balance off that. We say, make friends with the dragon. If you're a dog, make friends with the dragon. And then if you're a dragon, you'd think that if you're a dragon, you'd love yourself because dragons love dragons. Dragons love being a dragon. Dragons are proud of being dragons. But no, the dragons are considered one of the self-punishing animals of the zodiac. And by self-punishing, what I mean is that when a dragon is in a dragon year, they tend to make choices that are not necessarily for the long-term benefit of the dragon. So if you have a dragon, if you are a dragon by birth, then be aware that this is a year that you need to navigate and make careful decisions so that you don't follow the whim and the clouds, and you don't do things that could turn around and bite you in the future. Be aware that you tend to do that when you're in your own energy. So let us move on. Let's take a look at what 2024 would look like. According to all the people that I have researched for this information, because I am not a Chinese astrologer, I use astrology for my feng shui practice. I research from my peers, all their wisdom, the ones who specialize in astrology. And the summary is that 2024 is definitely a year of dynamic transformational change. If you don't want to embrace the change, go stay on a mountain somewhere because it's coming. It is happening. It's an exciting year for growth and learning. Again, we have that wood energy. It's a year of leadership and conquest, think the dragon. Charismatic leaders and activists will emerge, perhaps to challenge unfair laws and oppressive regulations. And we know those do exist some places of our world. If you want to make personal projects happen, this is one of the best years to do so. such as finding a new place to live, emigrating, or starting community-based activities or initiatives. It's a very inspirational year if you're into artistry of any kind. And if the fabric and beauty industries seem to be a year supported by this particular energy of growth and innovation and change. So we should see some pretty exciting things, such as new textiles that we never thought before that might be more eco-friendly, et cetera, et cetera. The thing is that the dragon is really a very strong young earth animal. You'd think it was fire, but it's not, it's young earth. And the earth and the young wood of the energy of the year, remember young wood dragon, the earth and the dragon and the wood actually have a bit of tension going on, and they sort of don't really work that well together. So there will be some tensions in the energy of the young wood dragon year. And those tensions will, we believe, will tend to be centered around the earth itself, such as soil, boundaries, borders, land and food production. So there may well be more issues about drawing lines in the sand about who owns what in terms of borders. And we already have enough of that kind of drama going on, right? So that's not necessarily, we don't think that's going to end. And then there could be protests and strikes and movements of revolt, maybe from the ground up happening in order to maintain or to secure those borders and that soil and food production. If wood gets out of whack, then anger and liver issues tend to follow. So we want to keep the young wood balanced as well. And the forecast, as it seems for every year these last few years, is for major hurricanes and tornadoes to come along. And I don't see any end of those really. Now, moving on, how can you prepare for the dragon? Well, remember we talked about earth energy and man energy earlier. Your home, when you do things in your home, you're actually creating that space for yourself so that you can have a sanctuary and you can be protected and you can thrive. Your home is part of your earth energy. And to help prepare your home, we always start with cleaning it, decluttering it. And I know decluttering is not an easy job, but get started. Clear it out, clear space so that the old energy goes out and the new energy can come in, and always bless your home for the new year, always. And then instead of thinking, oh my God, I'm a dog, I don't think I want any dragon energy to come in, welcome the new energy, make friends with the dragon energy, welcome it in. But you can do so by doing a little ritual to welcome it in, walking through your house with incense. You can put flowers and welcome the new year in a beautiful way, but do something to make the new year feel special. And again, the 2 New Years, the one on February 4th is gone. I did my rituals then. And the one on February 10th, the Lunar New Year, is coming up on Saturday. You still have time. Now, for yourself, to help balance the human energy, we ask that you think forgiveness. Think getting rid of the stuff that you brought from last year into this year. Think finishing up those old outstanding chores or tasks or the paperwork or the government things that have been hanging over your head. Finish them up or let them go. Finish them up, put them aside so that you don't go into 2024 carrying all that baggage. Try to deal with those things. Welcome the new energy yourself in your heart and make friends with the dragon. If the dog is your creature, is your animal, then definitely make special time and attention to make friends with that dragon. Be willing to learn and grow, because this is a year of change. And if you don't learn and grow, you're going to be left behind. And be open to the change itself. It's going to happen all around us. And be open to it, and be open to anything that might transform your own personal life. And now let's talk about period 9. Period 9 is the period of 20 years from 2024 to 2043. And again, we had talked about the 60-year period with the 12 animals and the 5 elements. Well, guess what? There's 180-year periods too, 20 years at a time, and each of them have a different element attached, a different number, and the numbers have different elements. We just finished at the end of 2023, period 8. Period 9 started on February 4th. Period 9 is symbolized by the element of fire. It's given the name Phoenix Rising. Period 9 is going to have a very different energy from the energy of period 8. Let's take a look at that. Period 9 is the period of the divine feminine. It's about the rise of female energy, and it supports the empowerment of the middle-aged woman, for which I am very happy. So period 9 is a time when the male trigram that was ruling period 8 will dissipate. All the very strong male leaders who valued intelligence of the brain over emotional intelligence will find themselves being supplanted by female energy. Now, I don't mean females, but more feminine energy, approach where there's the approach for kindness and empathy and relating and, as I said, emotional intelligence, optimism, brightness, and passion, what all considered feminine traits. Those are going to be rising up in period 9 and becoming more dominant and more in the control position. And the male energy of period 8 is going to wane. Now, it doesn't mean it will be an easy transition because the male energy is not so inclined to release that kind of position. So it's going to be probably quite turbulent as those things happen, where female leaders try to rise and find that they're beaten down. But that is the trend as signified by the energy of the phoenix. And so we expect to see lots more female leadership in all fields, not just government, coming up in the next period. All right. Period 9 is controlled by the fire element. And so we're looking at optimism, brightness, and passion, as I said, connectivity, empathy, etc. All those lovely feelings. But in addition, because it's a fire period and the element of fire tends to be unstable and tends to be dramatic and tends to transform in all kinds of ways, we could find that rapid actions and instability and polarized extremes happen, and those could bring us into undesirable conditions. So just like with the dragon, we say manage the energy of the dragon so that it doesn't overwhelm. We say manage the energy of the fire period that's coming. It starts in 2024. It's already started, but it's going to get stronger and stronger until it peaks and then starts to decrease towards the end of the period. In period 9, there's an opportunity for many, many outstanding gains, but you can also just as easily crash it. The fire gets stronger, all kinds of things can happen. But it is, when you put it together with the young wood dragon, a period of powerful change, transformation. Think of the phoenix. So what are they looking at for period 9? They talk about some of them already. The global trends are that the male dominant energy is going to fall, the fall of the titans. Some of the governments that you think could never fall will probably fall, or the people, the rulers of them will be supplanted by a whole different approach to rulership, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. The rise of strong female leaders. For metaphysical arts, there'll be a rise in metaphysical arts, and for people in healing modalities, we expect them to become more and more important, more and more present, more and more accepted, and more useful. Global warming, unfortunately, because of the rise of this fire period, and it's starting smallish now, but it's going to get bigger and bigger. And Christine, you're not the fire horse. There's another friend of mine who will be watching this, who is born in the year of the fire horse. In 2026, as I mentioned, when we looked at the animals, is the year of the young, big, strong, powerful fire, and an element of fire in a fire period as well. Horse, which is a mainly fire animal. 2026 is going to be a very powerful, we call it an all fire year. And we think that the attempts that we shall make, and we should all make, to put a cap on global warming will not really be that effective or seen that beautifully until after 2026 because of the rising fire of the period 9 that's going to be just maximized in 2026. We need to therefore pull out all the stops, but perhaps we won't turn it around until after that fire year, for which I'm sad because I really think we're too warm already. Technology, if you think that AI has exploded in 2023, you ain't seen nothing yet. It's wow, that's the feeling about technology. And not just in AI, in terms of robotics, in terms of all the other aspects of technology, and cryptocurrency is going to go crazy, et cetera, et cetera. If you don't like it, go live on a little island with no electrics, because it's going to happen. You can't really, that's what it's saying very strongly. And we expect a rise in various types of illnesses, particularly childhood illnesses. Christine, you with your wellness should be, again, there are many opportunities for helping people with their various pain points. Those are going to be increased. And healthcare, of course, both in terms of services and probably prices, is going to be quite key. So those are the global trends we see for the 20-year period of 2024 to 2043. Now, how can you prepare for period 9? On top of the year of the dragon, my goodness, there's a lot to prepare for, but not many of us get to see the change of the period so often. Remember, they happen only every 20 years. So some people might have been too young when the last period changed. And in any case, changing periods is something that the feng shui people talk about. Most of the people don't, they're not plugged into that. What can you do though, now that you are plugged in? Remember, we talked about heaven energy, earth energy, and mankind energy. The heaven energy, the fire element, is increasing towards 2026, which is a pure fire year. We cannot change heaven energy. We have to live with the results of it. Earth energy, though, which is Mother Earth itself, and your space, your personal environment, whether it be your home, your business, your garden, your children's home, you can do a lot to help with that. So we say, Earth is your home. Take action positively, locally, with great intent against global warming, because the trend of the heavens is towards more heat, as well as all the other things that are adding on the more heat. Balance the fire element, which is going to grow stronger and stronger every year using your decor choices. And whenever you do decor choices to balance, you're talking feng shui in some measure. Balance the elements, your decor. And how we do that is you try to do calming stuff in your home. So if you have the red walls and the orange and red, purple carpets, maybe you start weaning away from them, moving away from them as the fire period progresses, because you're going to find that you need a sanctuary when you are in your home that is more calm. So think in terms of calm. And honor the 9 in your home. That's a special extra little something. The 9 is for the period. And that's just another little feng shui trick. The 9 moves around every year. Every number moves around in your home every year. But in the 2024, the 9 fire number, which happens to be the lucky number for the next 20 years, is going to be in the southwest part of your home, where they have an apartment or a house. So if you can identify where the southwest is, then you keep it pretty, keep it clean, and use it a lot. Maybe put a little set of flowers there or a special crystal, and honor the 9. And next year it will change into another room, but you can do that. So you consciously are honoring the period 9. And just so you, I don't know if you all remember when the Beijing Olympics was. Christine, you remember?
I can't remember the year.
Okay. Well, the Beijing Olympics was in period 8. And because the Chinese don't make joke with this, these numbers, 8 was a lucky.
No, they don't.
8 was a lucky number in the
Yes.
period 8. They put the start of the Beijing Olympics on August the 8th, 2008. 8 of the 8th, 2008, because they believe that those things make a difference. Going forward into in period 9, 9 becomes the maximum lucky number. So I would be interested to know if there was an Olympics going on in any one of the Asian countries, whether they would choose accordingly. I would expect so. All right, so now let's talk about how you can what you can do to keep the balance in period 9, which is a strong fire period. First of all, do whatever you would normally like to do to keep the balance and calm inside yourself. Do your inner work, walk the journey. Whether it be exercise, meditation, reading, learning, growing, taking courses, keep your balance, keep your calm. It's good for your mental and emotional health. It also works with the period 9, which is a fire trend. Flying off the handle is showing the other side of period 9. You can make choices with your health and diet. Again, I see Christine involved there, that reduce the fire energy of what you eat as the period gets warmer. It's now a baby fire, all right? And of course, always stay centered and balanced, and always connected to your divine, whatever your divine happens to be. So that's really all I wanted to share with you. Do you have any questions? Christine?
Gosh, I'm so sorry I got in late, but this was so good. I love the reference to the Beijing Olympics, because I know that the Chinese, they don't make jokes for the numbers.
They don't make jokes for the numbers.
They don't. And I missed the first part with regard to the various animals in the fight. The first part, I missed the first part, because
no worries.
If I could replay. yeah, I'll catch the replay. So I will look out for, what am I again? I think in Chinese astrology, I'm the metal oxen.
Okay, well, just so you know, the ox is actually the other animals that I didn't mention, they all have their different relationships with the dragon, but they're not so challenged as the dog or the dragon itself. And the rooster
Right.
is to be the best friend this year. You know, next year somebody
Oh.
else will be the best friend. Yeah. So yeah, so the ox isn't so challenged. But if you wanted to, of course, follow up on the details of your year, you can always Google one of the Chinese astrology sites. Just
Yeah.
everybody should know that the when you using your year of birth, you are just using the big bucket, the year. Remember, there's a lot of people born in the same year as you. A year is a lot of days. So when we say an ox or a dragon or a dog using the year, it's a lot of people. It's a very generalized kind of bucket. So it does not really talk about the details of you. If you wanted to learn the details of you, you would get all of your Chinese astrology done, and it would give you not only your year of birth, animals and elements, it'd give you the month of birth, which of course is a smaller bucket, the day of birth, which is a smaller bucket again, and the
time
and minute of birth. And at that point, they're talking you and a few other people in the world. So that's when you really understand what's going on with you. So when you're looking at this level, just the year, it's really just a generalized approach. And I said, if you want to go find out much more detail, get your Chinese astrology done. I can connect you with some really cool people in the feng shui. Anyway, Lisa and Pablo, you guys have any questions? What did you think?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
We actually dropped in a little bit late, but we was actually first on Facebook. So we was actually listening from the beginning.
Yeah.
No
For me,
problem.
but for me, something that really come and actually really impact really change from the 8 to the 9. From this masculine, all energy, that is like so dragging, and it's like it have to be this way to come into is energy that coming with love, it coming with compassion, it coming with caring, it coming with real understanding, not just the superficial into money, profit, numbers. No, it's result, experiences. And of course, I will come with a clash.
It will come with a clash.
Because it's come as a part of an old program getting to update.
Correct.
This is the upgrade of it. And I see the period of the 20 years, and I come out seeing my baby coming and growing, going to be on that period.
I am
and
so
it's going
glad,
to
that's
be,
right.
and it's going to be orange, it's going to be energy, it's going to be hot. And it's very sad to come and say that the part of global warming is a reality that I have to learn to express to my kid, that it's been there, but it don't have to come and be seen as the dead end. Because as things get hotter, more creativity, more ideas, it will come, more people will create more solutions. But at the period as the clash of the two energies, this is what I'm saying, it's like the planet is getting hotter. It will get hotter in these next 2 years, and this is from the side of Europe. It will get hotter in so many ways, and it will bring a transformation. Hopefully, everybody come and be on it, but it's like a fire.
We have to
it's
join
like
together actually to make that fire. Yeah, we have to make the fire into a healing, transformational fire, not a destructive one.
Yes, it cannot. It's because a fire could go places. This is the thing. So it must find it must find the right way, or expect the wild way. And fire cannot be quenched.
And now that we know about it, we have wisdom. We can help do our part, the man energy, to balance the other man energy and the earth energy. Pablo, something I think you sparked that in my mind. The feminine energy that is rising in period 9 is also towards righting wrongs and supporting the underdogs and supporting things.
It's the healing process.
So it's going to take a little while, but it is the rising of that energy. I have a question from Kathleen. Welcome, Kathleen and Deb. Kathleen said September 55. Guess what, Kathleen? That's the same year and month I was born. So you are a ram or a sheep, depending on which one you prefer. So you can check that and see what it says for your astrology for this year. But remember, that's just the year bucket. And if you want to get real details, you should try to get somebody to give you the month, the day, and the hour bucket, because that's going to be much more accurate to you. But for fun, you can look and see what the energy of this year and this year does for the ram. Okay, so anybody, Lisa, what do you want to say about this? I know this is going to resonate with you.
Yeah, it resonates very strong with me. And I just recognize like I'm on the right way. Like I feel like I do the work before, so I can keep on going now. I feel like I can handle the challenges that coming. And we just checked the years, and in 2026 we are both horse. So I was wanted to ask, like,
Wow.
we have to prepare really good for that.
You are both horses. Okay.
Horses and a baby.
Yeah.
That's the name of the book. That's the next book cover. Like,
Is either one of you a fire horse? Do you know the element attached to you? No, Lisa, you wouldn't be fire horse because fire horse was 60 years ago. Pablo, will you be 60 then, or you're younger?
a little younger.
Okay.
But close to, yeah.
Okay. No, you would be another element horse then. Okay.
Okay.
That's going to be
Okay.
very interesting. You're going to have to check in with me for that one.
Yeah. We already booking in. We just come and just letting you know, like, yes, we have to book in. We have to organize for
Horse is
26.
coming. Oh my
For
goodness.
2026, yeah.
In the year of pure fire. Okay.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
something else to mention, that period 9, the period is when you're building houses, for anyone who is planning to build a house, the
Mhm.
period affects the energy of the house. So all the houses in the
Relation.
past 20 years, built in the last 20 years, were period 8 houses. The energy changes. So if you know anybody who's building a house, just so they're aware that there's a different energy attached to your home, if you have a feng shui person in your life, because you're building in period 9. All right, nothing bad. It's just you do different things to adjust for the energy. Okay? All right. Now, it is not to do with moving into a new apartment. It's to do with your building, because it's about when the roof goes on, etc. It's the structure of the building. Whether the building has 100 people coming to live in it over the years, that's not the point. It would have been a period 6 building, or period 7 building, or period 8 building, or period 9 building. This is the beginning of a whole bunch of different buildings coming now. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording, stop the Facebook stream, and just chat with you all privately. Stand by.